Hello everyone, how is everyone doing? I hope everyone's had a great night so far. It's your boy FPL Josh, and we're literally just going to be talking about a team that's going to be locked in for the deadline, as we're doing our deadline stream tonight for a change I can't make tomorrow. So we're just going to be doing our team tonight, be locked in, no changes unless we have any last minute injury news or anything of the kind. Let's say we have something random, I don't know, Haaland's not starting, Cash not starting, which is doubtful. For me, they're both 100% starting. I'm not worried about them. The team looks fine. Obviously, like I said last stream yesterday, we did the -8 this week and a free transfer. We've done Van Dijk to Maguire, Son to Salah for a free transfer and a -4. And then we've done Maddison to Eze for a -4. So statistically speaking, Maddison to Eze -4, Maddison doesn't start. Eze gets a goal, points are back, profit. Maguire gets a clean sheet, there's the other -4 points back, and Salah gets a return bigger than Son, which that's just the free transfer basis one. And that's the way I'm looking at it with the -8. And then the rest of the team's the same. Not planning on doing any more hits or anything like that for this week. Team's pretty much locked in how it is. Maybe I'd take Shah out, but again, it would be for a hit and to a defender that's not guaranteed a clean sheet, so it's not worth it in my eyes. So again, he'll just be playing. And I'm expecting 2 points for Shah. I'm expecting Chelsea to score, so I'm not expecting a lot out of Newcastle this week. I do think Chelsea's going to beat them like 3-1 is my prediction for Newcastle versus Chelsea. I'm not expecting an absolute ton in that game. I don't think Newcastle will score more than one. That's why I've got it as 3-1. I just don't see it personally happening. Obviously, we could have more, we could not have more, it'll really just depend on how things go. But at the moment, we're doing decent currently, and the draft's just looking really nice. The team looks good for this week. The only debate I've still got in my head is I'm not captain Salah this week, even though he's returning in City every week for the last 5 times I've played. I'm not captain Salah. Is between Eze and Haaland. I feel like Eze could be the go-to captain for me this week. Really could be. I just don't want to get burned by Haaland, so it might be a case of going Eze, but at the moment I'm just going to play it safe with the big man for City and just comfortable. He'll get a goal, comfortable bonus points, should get an easy 9-pointer. It's nice and safe. When Eze, I think he could get 2 goals in that Luton game. It's just Haaland's more consistent. Obviously Eze has returned in both the last 2 weeks. He's been back since injury. It just statistically makes sense for Haaland to be scoring against the bigger teams like Liverpool, especially with City being at home. I think if this was Liverpool at home, I'd captain Salah. But because it's City at home, I captain the home player with the home fixture, so it's Haaland for me this week. Let's have a drink. But at the moment, yeah, team looking good. We've had a Boeing injury update, I believe. I will have a quick check right now. But I believe we've had a Bowen injury update for today. Yeah, the Bowen injury news was he didn't play today. He could be unavailable for tomorrow's game against Burnley. But he would most likely start with Antonio with an injury if he plays. So if he plays, he'll play up front. But with him not training yesterday, it's not looking good. And I don't believe he's trained today either. So by the looks of it, he's going to be out for us. It's going to be a 50-50, like they'll make a decision on it tomorrow. He's either going to be fine and he's playing, or he's not going to be fine, kind of thing. But at the minute, he's got a fluid build-up in his knee. He didn't train yesterday. We haven't had news whether he's trained today or not. but it just doesn't look good for Bowen enough for me to, if you've got him, to say keep him. For me, he's a sell. I just don't think there's enough to say he's worth keeping this week for me. But again, anything could change. He could have maybe trained tonight and I haven't known, and there's no news for it. It could be anything. But for me, Bowen out for me if you've got him. I just don't like the news we've had. He didn't train yesterday. We don't think he's trained today. He's still got a fluid build up in his knee. Obviously, the manager's saying wait and see for tomorrow, so he could play him. Like I said, with it being David Moyes, he could play him with Antonio out as well. But I just think, is he going to risk the injury Bowen's carrying, which is a bad injury? Fluid build up in the knee is quite a bad injury, and it can put you out for a couple of games. So for me, I'd be selling Bowen if I've got him. I think it is still a 50-50 call, but I would be selling him just for that security that you've got someone that starts no matter what, if you can sell him. Obviously, I don't think I'd be getting him out on a hit, but I think you've got a free transfer, move him to the likes of Eze, nice and comfy. Even if Bowen ends up starting, you've made a great move in the terms of you've banked yourself a starting player. And I just don't see Bowen starting, and I don't see Bowen, if he plays at all, which I don't think he will play, getting any more than half an hour on the pitch. They don't tend to risk these kind of injuries. Bowen's not Saka. Bowen won't play for every single injury he gets. So, for me, Bowen's a bench. So we've covered that. Bowen's a bench for me, or a sell. If you can bench him for a decent player, bench him. If you can sell him to, let's say, Eze or something on a free transfer, do that. And then, obviously, the other talks is Matty Cash. Cash dropped out the Polish squad because, again, he was just having a little few mere problems with his shoulders, just a few nick in his left shoulder, nothing too big. Again, was just from that shoulder strain he had in the game, and he was out for 1 week. Nothing big, nothing major. He's absolutely fine. He'll be back fitness wise. He's up to date. He's been training with Villa every day this week. He's as fit as grass. He'll play on the weekend full 90 minutes. He'll play the week after full 90 minutes unless he gets injured on, I believe it's Saturday they're playing. So unless he gets injured tomorrow, I think it's tomorrow they're playing. Correction. They're playing Sunday. So unless he gets injured on Sunday then. But for me, Cash again, nailed. 100% starting. Haaland for me, at the moment, everything indicates is 100% starting for 90 minutes for me. He's not going to bench him in that Liverpool game. I think it was an easier fixture because he's carrying a slight knock than maybe, but with Haaland he's fine. Bruno for Sterling. Yeah, we have Everton, but I'll be honest with you, as a Man United fan, Bruno's just not been getting in them positions for us. So for me, because of how well Chelsea looked in that last game versus City, and with Newcastle having so many injuries right now, and missing their key strikers and whatnot, for me, I would keep Sterling. I wouldn't move to Bruno, and I'd just play Sterling this week and play him. To be honest, Sterling for me is a hold, because game week 16, Chelsea have a really nice fixture run, so you'll want him then anyway for that fixture run. Newcastle for me is a good fixture. I like that. Brighton, again, absolutely smothered with injuries like Newcastle. Defensive injuries, midfielding injuries, missing a striker, with occasional knocks now and again on most weeks. So for me, again, that would be a high scoring game. I'd back Sterling to do stuff in that game. And the Man United game versus Chelsea, even as a Man United fan, I believe Chelsea will score a couple goals in that game with the way we're playing currently. And I would not be surprised to see Sterling involved in that game as well. And then you've got the case of they've got a 5 fixture run where it's all green fixtures like your Fulhams, your Lutons and whatnot, and he's going to absolutely go off in them games. So for me, if I had Sterling right now, it would be a comfortable keep him and just go with it. And there's probably other fires you need to put out in your team. And if I was getting rid of Sterling, Bruno wouldn't be the player for me to move Sterling out. I would move Sterling out to Eze or Mbumo. But for me, he's a keep. I'd just keep him, personally. With Chelsea right now, they can play anyone with the current fixtures because they're producing so many attacking returns, so much goal threat. They're conceding goals, don't get me wrong, so I wouldn't have a Chelsea defender right now, but the way Sterling's playing, he'd be a keep for me. But if you put your team in the chat, Salim, I can give you a quick insight if there's anything you need to move out or any players I can recommend. But yeah, my personal opinion would be keep Sterling. Like I said, for me, that's the best thing you can do in that situation. Right, moving on to captaincy options. I did have a Discord with 20 lads, not main Discord, with some of the lads from the friend Discord, 20 of them now, who've been doing FPL quite a while. A lot of the lads, like me, 1k finishes, 2k finishes, quite good like FPL knowledge wise. Most of the lads in there right now are around the 50k rank mark, a couple of them are 500k, and one of them's over the mill like me currently because we've had a bit of an iffy start to the season at the moment. But I did a captaincy poll. We had 3 captaincies in there, Haaland, Salah and Eze. Haaland got 30% of the vote. Eze got 25% of the vote. And Salah got 45% of the vote. So between the 20 lads, majority, and like near enough half of them, let's say eight people are captaining Salah, three people, whatever, 4 people, 5 people are captaining, let's say, Eze, and 7 are captaining Haaland. So Eze's a great pick this week for captaincy, and I do see quite a few people doing it. And I think because of his low ownership as well, with that fixture in Luton, I could really see him getting the 2 goals in that game. So I think Eze could be really that captain pick for this week. It would just be me hiding behind the sofa in the Liverpool-Man City game. But because I do own Haaland and Salah, I can't get punished too much as long as Eze returns. So that's the only thing you got to look at, really. The only thing I don't like, as well, is the City game is the early kick-off. So if Haaland or Salah go off, I've got to sit through that Palace game at 3 o'clock and just hope Eze scores 2 or whatnot. So that's the only downfall of that kind of game. I just got a really good feeling that Palace are going to do really well versus Luton and they're going to win comfortably. And I think I've got Palace down to win 3-0 comfortably. I just think they're going to have too much for Luton. I know Luton's at home. Sometimes that can change things, obviously. Well, I think Luton's at home anyway. Yeah, Luton's at home. So they do play well at home, but I just think Palace is going to have too much for them. I don't think that Liverpool game where Luton draw was anything to be looking at and saying, oh, Luton are all of a sudden playing well, because they're not. Liverpool should have won that game about 3-1 or something ridiculous like that, 4-1. The fact that that game was 1-1 was just a joke. Really joke. Obviously, Chelsea-Newcastle, I've got Chelsea down to win 3-1. I've got Forest down to beat Brighton 2-1. I've got Bournemouth down to beat Sheffield United 2-1. Arsenal-Brentford to draw 2-2. City and Liverpool to draw 2-2. West Ham to win 2-0 and Palace to win 3-0. I've got Aston Villa to beat Spurs 2-0. Man United, as in my team, to beat Everton 1-0. I've got Wolves to beat Fulham 2-1. And that's the predictions for this week at the moment. That's what we're on. So nothing's really changed from what I said the other day. Pretty simple. Nothing's really changed on the predictions there for the week. I will do my so rare and I'll put the predictions down on the so rare and whatnot as well. But yeah, pretty much at the moment, the team's just solid as a brick. When we get some questions in, we'll start answering them as well, and we're pretty much just going to chit chat through now, look for some more injury news. Have a scroll through Twitter now, I'll see what I can find on the injury basis wise, and then we'll have a look at, obviously, some potential transfers for Game Week 14 as well. Obviously, Game Week 13 we've got now as well. I'm just going to show you how the team are lining up as well for the week after. We're having a look now. Just going to see what everything's saying. But yeah, at the moment, I don't think we've had any more updates really. Obviously we've got Brentford, Thomas Frank, Collins, Nathan Collins injury. Nathan is out for weeks. But yeah, I don't really see a lot. The only thing I like about the Brentford game this week is obviously Raya can't play for Arsenal. So that's pretty nice because they'll have to play Ramsdale in goal and he was letting a shit ton of goals in the cup game. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Kufel is fine, by the way, lads, as well. Obviously, Matoma's out for good at the minute. Matoma's guaranteed out. Milner's out. They're out of the squads. I don't think there's too much else. Kabore is obviously out for Luton. That's another good sign for that Crystal Palace game. But yeah, there's not really anything to worry about this week. I see a lot of people have got like 6 or 5 injuries in their team. I've got away with it because I haven't got any injuries. My team's just free flowing. Just gonna read through this article now. Just trying to wait and see. Board to do. Odegaard's back in training, by the way, and he's been trained today, and he's been progressing well. So hopefully he's available, is what Arteta said today. Obviously Odegaard had that concussion. Odegaard for me is 75%. I think Odegaard's like a 75% chance of playing. Teammates on Thursday, Friday trained yesterday was the last train, if we can play part. Yeah, Haaland again, 75% chance of me starting. Matty Cash for Villa will start. Matoma, for me, he's not going to be starting. But yeah, there's not really much to report injury wise right now, apart from what we've just said. There's not a lot to really talk about. We've talked about the injury news that are going on. We've not really had any more leaks and whatnot to indicate that there's going to be any more injury news tomorrow, really. Hence the deadline tonight. I just don't think we're going to get much late news tomorrow. We'll get the news that Haaland will be starting. We'll get the news Cash will be starting, which everyone knows anyway, and that'll be about it. Again, with Haaland starts, I'm not worried about that. It's just a simple case of they're going to start. He's going to score a brace, knowing my luck. Salah's going to end up scoring a freaking brace and not Haaland, but pretty much. That's it. Obviously, I've thought about playing Nketiah this week as well. I've considered playing Nketiah over Diaby. It's just I'd have 2 Arsenal players versus Brentford, and I don't know about that. But I don't know. I think it'll be the type of game where if Nketiah played, he'd score. And the thing is that annoys me as well, like, he actually puts up okay numbers. Like, I've got him for Wolves and Luton as well, so he will be playing, by the way. Jesus is still a bit of a risk, so I think for me, Eddie plays versus Wolves and Luton for me. I'll be bringing in another Arsenal player next week, I think. I think I will be looking at possibly doing a transfer and a -4. Possibly. But then again, doubtful because I don't really want to be moving Diaby out next week, so that's probably doubtful. I'll probably just roll the transfer, and then when it comes to game week 15 for Villa, I think that's when I'll say, look, okay, this is what we're doing. We're going to move Diaby down to Parma. We might bring Nicholas Jackson in, as them game week 16 onward fixtures for Chelsea are amazing. Or we'll keep Watkins versus City anyway. We'll bring Palmer in. We'll bring a Chelsea defender in. That's another way I could look at it. But I do think them Chelsea fixtures are ones that I'm going to want to exploit. I do think I'd like to have Raheem Sterling. There's just no one in my midfield I'd replace to put Sterling in. And I think just Diaby to Cole Palmer really for me. I prefer Cole Palmer because he's on penalties than Sterling. Even though Sterling got that great attacking output, the way Cole Palmer's currently playing, he's going to be an absolute gem. So I think he's definitely one I'd be wanting to bring in before the curve, without a doubt. Obviously, if Diaby got injured this week, then it made my decision even easier. Bring Palmer in next week. But I am eyeing up Chelsea players, definitely. I will see how Chelsea perform though in the next couple of weeks, but definitely I think like game week 15, maybe I'll bring the Chelsea players in. Yeah, we'll bring a defender in on the bench and then play him the week after, because I don't mind like playing against Man City, the players, but it would be a case of moving cash out without a doubt to a Chelsea player, I think. And I feel like game week 14 I hold the transfer, 15 then we move a player out with 2 transfers, and coming into game week 16 we move the other 2 out, and then we've got triple Chelsea for that lovely run of fixtures. And I do want to note that Brentford obviously blanking game week 18. So I feel like hold him and Boomer for this week, hold and Boomer for this week, hold and Boomer for this week. Game week 17 is gone. And then I'm going to wildcard, I think, 19. So I could bring him back in 19, because then he's got the double game week 20. By the way, this will be a double game week. This will. As City's having that double game week that week as well. And these fixtures are lovely to bring that triple Brentford in, especially for a nice double game week. Obviously, Spurs and Man City then, obviously that's a bit annoying, but then I've got Wolves again. So I do feel like I'd be bringing in a decent amount of Brentford players, without a doubt. As one, you get rid of them over the upcoming weeks anyway. So I do just believe it's looking fairly decent for us right now. I think the team's where it needs to be at. I'm happy with any injury news we've had, any other data. Nothing's looking too out of the window bad right now. Let me just check what we've currently had on the City news as well. But yeah, I don't see more news in a minute. By the way, boys, I don't know if this is going to sound a bit of an obscure punt if I was to bring him in. Yeah, it might sound a bit ridiculous. Hold on. Let me check the Twitter news and then I'll tell you what I was about to say. But yeah, it might sound a bit ridiculous. What I'm about to say. Really might. But I'm actually considering bringing it in. Let me find them. Just give me a second, guys. I will tell you. Where is it? I can't find them. Right, anyway. But yeah, I was considering bringing Palmer in. And I'm also considering if I can find him. I forgot his name, but I know what he is, what it is when I see it. But yeah, we're considering bringing Palmer in, and I was also I was also considering, which sounds a bit bizarre, really bizarre, bringing in a Crystal Palace midfielder with Eze. And the midfield I was considering bringing in was actually not even Elise. It was Jordan Ayew I was considering bringing in. But if Elise does start getting 90-minute games, he is someone else I'd be looking at because he's cheap and you get on a curb. Hello, Fabio. Nice to see you. I'm just saying how obscure me looking into the future is. I'm looking at Elise for the future if he actually starts playing. But the plan is to roll the transfer next week. Then come game week 15, I'm going to move Cash to a Chelsea defender, Diaby to Palmer, and then game week 16, I'm going to move Watkins to Jackson. The plan's to bring in triple Chelsea players for that game week 16 run. The plan. Hello, Slade. Yes, Slade, don't take the absolute piss just because I said I'm going to bring in triple Chelsea players, you twat. You know I'm joking, by the way, but still. How's your day going, Slade, anyway? I'm just contemplating how my -8 is going to go to fucking shit again because it does every week. Just fucking see it come in. Salah's going to fucking blank for the first time in this first time after 5 returns against City in a row. Maguire's going to not end up keeping a flipping clean sheet because I've done a -4. And Eze's going to end up blanking. I can just see it coming. Just because I bought him in. It would be typical. I bring Salah in and he blanks. It should, statistically, I've looked at it. Maddison to Eze -4. That should pay off. Van Dijk to Maguire -4. Maguire clean sheet, Van Dijk blanks. That should pay off. And then Son to Salah on a free. That's the way I've worked it out in my head. And statistically, that should pay off. With Eze getting a goal, I think for me minimum, I could see Eze getting 2 goals in that game. Salah should easily get a return in the City game. I expect Son to blank this week. And as a Man United fan, I might sound like a twat, but I expect Maguire to keep a clean sheet. I expect us to beat Everton comfortably if we can actually put away our chances. Yeah, my day's been good. My day's been very good, just the usual. Got up, got to gym, done the usual football podcasts around the lads this morning, and then pretty much just set up for the stream tonight. Not been too busy of a day. Been more of a relaxed Friday. Had a couple of appointments to go to as well though. But yeah, it's been a bit more of a relaxed Friday, to be honest with you, than usual. Aye, if you wanna ruin your whole week and captain Watkins and go ahead, I think Villa's gonna win 2-0. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets 1 return. Fabio, I swear to God, Maguire gets an own goal. I'm just gonna time you out from the Discord chat for like an hour, just out of that 1 own goal punishment, because I'll blame you if that happens now. And I'll also cry against the frickin' TV as I'm watching the United game. It would be typical, to be honest. I'm actually thinking of captaining Eze, but I'm being a pussy, so I'm probably going to leave it on Haaland. But when I bought Eze in, I literally sat downstairs when I was speaking to some of the other lads from the league I'm in and whatnot. That's my brothers when we were doing the teams and whatnot. It makes me freaking laugh because I sit there and I help them do all their freaking teams and the transfers, and then the players I tell them to bring in do freaking well. I haven't bought them myself, and they look like an absolute mug. That was the best of it the other day. I was like, oh yeah, bring Palmer in. He's a great player. I didn't bring him myself, and then he freaking scored. And I'll bring him in flipping game week 15. I'll bring Palmer in game week 15 as planned. He'll get a red card game week 15. He'll come back game week 17, and then he'll get an injury for 6 weeks. Oh, if you've captained Eze on your worst team, then I ain't touching him, Fabio. Because that team of yours, right, that's at the bottom is cursed. Every single player you captain blanks. Apart from like Salah last week. How's your team looking, Slay? I haven't even looked at anyone's teams this week, to be honest. I really have not even looked at anyone's teams this week. I'm normally nosy, to be honest. I haven't really looked. I've literally been too focused and busy this week, to be honest, to even do a lot of FPL apart from the streams yesterday. What is it? It's all this... One, it's kind of to Christmas, and the amount of Christmas shopping I've got to do is ridiculous. I've got 2 accounts. I technically have 2 accounts, I've just not used my one this year. Sometimes occasionally I'll put like a second account on and just do 1 week on the account where I use like a bench boost and try and get the highest score in the game for that specific week. But I haven't bothered this year. Right. Oh yeah, we've got the That's right, I can have a look. If you've not changed anything, Slay, then I can just have a look. Because yeah, I can look at your lineup and I can assume you're gonna play the exact same lineup you played last week. Haaland, except Haaland, obviously probably captain. Watkins, Saka, Son, Diaby, Palmer, Salah, Saliba, Cash, Johnston. With this week's slate, I wouldn't bother making a defensive transfer. Just play Livramento. Lewis Hall is not allowed to play against Chelsea, so Livramento will play for Newcastle this week. So I'd just play Livramento, just like I've played Shaw. I wouldn't expect anything more than 2 points, but just play him. Don't waste a transfer moving him out. And then, otherwise, not really a lot you need to do. You might just be better off just rolling your transfer this week. Unless you want to bring in, let's say, Mbumo or Eze for Diaby. Diaby has obviously got Bournemouth game week 14, but I think Eze is going to do really well this week. And Mbumo is going to do incredibly well with Luton as well next week. Especially with Brentford being at home to Luton. Luton away are absolutely terrible. So with Brentford being at home, that's a really good fixture. I don't know how much money you've got in the bank. If you can tell me, then I can probably have a lot. I think getting Son out could be really good for you, to be honest with you, as well. Maybe do Son to Mbumo and bring in Whistler from Mbamba the week after that. Especially with that Luton fixture at home. I don't know if you've changed anything, so yeah, still the same. 0 in the bank. So you've got 1 free transfer, 0 in the bank. Okay. Yeah, you're in the shit, but I can see what we can do. Yeah, I think. I'd be tempted to move Son to an Eze and Mbumo. I do think, because I just think Son without Maddison. I know Villa plays a high line. Fine. Every bullshit influencer on the universe can keep saying Villa plays a high line. That doesn't mean Son's going to score. Son played Wolves the other week. Wolves play a freaking high line. He sat the deepest player in that whole flipping Spurs squad, and he plays up front. And he's the deepest player in midfield. It's like Harry Kane all over again. The only difference is Son moves quicker than the Titanic. That's the only difference. But I just don't see Spurs breaking that Villa defence. They haven't got Romero in defence. Udogi's still a doubt. They've got no Maddison. Kulusevski's been absolutely shit. Anyone who says Brennan Johnson's good, sorry Fabio, doesn't have a clue what they're on about. I don't really think I don't think Son's doing bugger all this week. I think he's going to absolutely just get a 1 point and blank. He's going to get a yellow card and he's going to get 1 point. I just think statistically, moving him to Eze is the go-to move. I plan to go to Bowen, but he's a doubt. Yeah, Bowen for me, fluid build-up in the knee. He didn't train yesterday, so it's a doubt he's trained today. Moores has said he's going to assess him on Saturday. For me, with how quick the turnaround is and with him not training obviously Thursday and possibly training today, but it's a doubt he's trained today. He's not ready for me for Saturday. He's not going to start. I don't even think he'll be on the bench. So I would not be touching Bowen. I've advised anyone who's got Bowen to sell him, because for me I wouldn't be touching Bowen. For me, with a fluid build-up in the knee, with how bad it is, he should be out for a minimum of 2 weeks. I don't care what anyone tries to sugarcoat it, because Arteta does it with Saka, he sugarcoats it. But Bowen's not like Saka, he won't just come and play. Bowen's quite a bit older than Saka as well. So yeah, I don't think Bowen starts at all. A fluid injury is nothing to joke about. I've actually had fluid injuries build up in my knee myself when I used to play football, and I think I was out for about a month with a fluid injury that built up in my knee. So it's not something that I could see him really recovering from within a week. No chance. So I wouldn't be touching Bowen. I don't like it when all these FPL freaking other YouTubers go, oh, Bowen's going to be possibly. Yeah, possibly. But it's not 50-50 like they're making it out to be. It's 75% chance Bowen doesn't play, and it's 25% chance Bowen does play. Nothing indicates he's going to start for me. He might go and pull a worldie like Saka does, and I might look like an absolute twat, but I don't think Bowen's going to start at all. Have we got any more updates on your Bowen, actually? I think I'll just post something. Have we got any more updates? Oh, Salah can get his 150th Premier League goal this weekend. I've just looked at that, so that might be an inclining thing. The only thing is, if Salah does get a goal and Haaland gets 2 goals, Haaland will get 13 and Salah will get 12. Because Haaland gets more points to be the striker on the goal bonus point system, so I just think with the home fixture. But then would I be shocked if Haaland is an arsehole just because everyone's captain in this week and then he goes and blanks? I wouldn't. He's blanked, what is he blanked 4 times this season? Which, to even think he's blanked 4 times this season is ridiculous. I believe Salah's blanked once. Yeah, it does make sense. If Bowen starts, yeah, I'd be really shocked. I think there's more chance of me putting on a Liverpool shirt than Bowen starting. And bear in mind, I've never worn another Premier League shirt in my whole entire life. I've always worn Man United shirts. I don't think I've ever put another Premier League shirt on. I've worn like La Liga shirts, Serie A team shirts, like France shirts, Brazil shirts, all the retro, all of that stuff. But I would never put on another Premier League shirt. I definitely wouldn't put on a Chelsea shirt. I think I feel sick afterwards. Oh, that bet of mine that we'd be higher than you in the league by game week 24 is going significantly well, isn't it, Slee? Hello, I want goals, bro. Welcome to our funny, typical sarcastic stream. I hope you're enjoying it. If I actually had a Liverpool shirt, Fabio, which just to clarify, like I've just said today, I don't own any other Premier League shirts. But my brother's got an old Liverpool scarf, so I'll tell you what, if Bowen starts, I will, and I promise all of you now, if Bowen starts, I'll go and get some random freaking Liverpool thing, and I will sit through the Man United game, and I will forcefully wear it at my own discretion for you lot. I didn't technically take a -8 though for Salah. I've done Maddison to Eze on a -4. Maddison's out. That's going to return. I've done Van Dijk to Maguire on a -4. Maguire gets a clean sheet. Van Dijk blanks. That's evens. And then I've done Son to Salah. See? So statistically, I've not done a -8 for Salah. I've done 2 -4s and Salah on a 3. I haven't got a City shirt, and I don't have a City shirt for 1. Nor does anyone in my house. 2, I would never be caught dead in a City shirt. I don't wear rat piss. Fabio, I'm sorry. I don't wear rat piss. Anyway, hello, Rowan. What are your thoughts on Brennan Johnson? Here we... Yeah, okay, yeah. I'll give you... If you want my honest opinion, without getting it... Well, I've got it on No Kids, so I'll give you my honest opinion. I think Brennan Johnson's shit. That's my honest opinion. I'll give it to you straight. I'm not like any of the content creators. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You know, he doesn't get in them positions. He doesn't post any good XGI. He's not producing what Maddison can produce. He will get in the occasional position where he's on the back post and he'll put in a few good balls through a game, but for me, he's not worth buying. He's going to be out of the squad when Maddison's back anyway. For me, he could still be replaced by Richarlison when Richarlison's back in as well. Yeah, I don't like Brennan Johnson for me. I think it's a bit of a knee-jerk if you bring him in just because he's had one decent performance, so I wouldn't be touching him. Especially when, one, Gordon's a better pick, but again, Newcastle have got a lot of injuries, and for me, if I was going to be bringing in a player, I'd be bringing in like Mbumo and Eze over the likes of Brennan Johnson. They're not that much more expensive, they're nailed on, they're way better picks, they're both on penalties, they've both got better fixtures than Spurs have. I don't see Spurs even scoring in that Villa game, so for me, comfortably, I'd say Brennan Johnson I wouldn't even be thinking about. But yeah. Fabio, don't have that. Well, I don't know why you're talking, Slay, because your shirt's even worse. But yeah. Yeah, it doesn't exactly. You're a City fan, but you won't even wear the shirt because you know it smells of rat piss, Fabio. That's the reason you won't even wear it. You just literally give me ammo for my point. I actually have ordered the. I don't normally, to be honest with you, I've got like loads of retro Man United shirts and I do prefer the retro stuff, but I've ordered the 2023-24 kit for our home kit. I'm not obviously ordering the away one because it's disgusting. Because I got it for 40 quid on Black Friday offer instead of 80 quid. So I thought, you know what, bang on. I don't normally like spending like 80 quid on the shirt, to be honest with you. I normally just buy the ones off of like eBay, like the retro ones and whatnot, the older stuff, but I thought, you know what, why not? I have got the third kit for this year. I have got the third kit and I did spend like 80 quid on that. Exactly. Yeah, Fabio doesn't have a City shirt. The hilarious thing is, I've got a Barca shirt in my cupboard as well. I've got a few Barca shirts. I've got a 2009 Messi Barca shirt. I've got a 2010 Messi Barca shirt, which was one of his best performances that season he's ever had. And that's an actual original retro one, and I've got it signed by Lionel Messi himself. But that cost me literally, I'm not even joking, Slay. That shirt that I've got in the frame and whatnot cost me like 900 quid. Absolute joke. That's when I bought it like 3 years ago. I don't know what they're worth now after the World Cup. It's probably doubled, tripled in value after the World Cup. Yeah, enjoy your dinner, Slay. After you that, I'm gonna obviously come off this in like half an hour, whatever, when we're finished up with questions and whatnot. And then we'll do a call of the Discord if you like, and we'll sort the teams out later as well. But I'll see you in a bit, pal. If any of you lads have got any more questions, I'd say get them in now. I'm just going to let the dog out quickly. Right, sorry about that. Okay, right. Back to it. What I was going to say anyway, but Slade's not in here to take the piss out of me, well he probably is. I was saying I was looking at moving to at least say maybe later down in the line when he actually starts playing 90 minutes a game. But that would be when Palace have like a really, really good fixture turn. Obviously they've got 3 nice fixtures now. I'm definitely looking at Brentford players, but more I'd be looking at Brentford players game week 19 onwards. I'd keep Mbumo obviously. I know you ain't got any more questions, Fabio, because your team's pretty much sorted out. Do a captaincy poll in chat. Anyone who's having Haaland captain, put the number 1 in. Salah, put the number 2 in. And if you're having any other captain, just put the number 3 in. I actually want to see how many people we've got in chat who's actually captaining Haaland this week. Because I know Fabio's captaining Salah this week, I believe. You said you was. Unless you've changed, God knows. I know my captaincy pick can change like the sun, but Haaland should be locked in this week for me. I don't see any reason changing. I just don't think Salah's gonna do more than Haaland this week. But it could make sense to captain Salah with the hits like Lisa and the transfer I've done, but I don't really see myself doing it. Anything could change in that half 10 to like 11 deadline leeway bit when you have all the injury news and all the team changes and all the stress. The amount of times I've done last minute freaking -4s at 11 and just bang on 11 AM when deadline's literally done is ridiculous. So I might be a ballsy twat and move Shah out to a -4 player, but it's doubtful. Most likely he'll sit there. Very, very doubtful that I'll take any more hits this season until like game week 27 or something like that. As a team set now, the only reason I've had to take a few hits is mainly just for getting the players in that I needed to get in. I didn't want to be without Salah for these upcoming weeks, without a doubt, because Fulham, Sheffield and Crystal Palace, I'm going to get burnt. I know for a fact we're going to end up getting freaking stuffed in that game. Arsenal's in there, Burnley, Newcastle, Bournemouth, they're just... Now I've got him in, I don't see him leave my team for the rest of the year, to be honest with you. Which is the way I'm looking at it right now. I would like to bring in, obviously, Cole Palmer will be coming in, without a doubt, game week 15. I wouldn't mind bringing in Odegaard, but it's just Hugh when I replace for him. So I think that by game week 15, I'll bring in Jackson and Palmer for Diaby and Watkins. And game week... Oh no, sorry, game week 14, game week 16, I'll move Cash to a Chelsea defender, that's right. So basically, the plan is to bring 3 Chelsea players in. This is assuming I don't get any injuries in the team and my defenders just do what I want to do. Obviously, Tsimikas is a hold for them fixtures. Maguire, okay, yeah. But the way I look at it is, I'm more than comfortable with playing Maguire versus Newcastle over Shah. Maybe a little bit Man United bias, but I'd expect us to keep a clean sheet. Cash will play versus Bournemouth. I don't know who Spurs have got. They've got City, so I won't be playing Udogi. And then Tsimikas will play versus, I believe it's Fulham. Yeah, Fulham. So, 2 defenders I'd back to get a clean sheet. I'd back Crystal Palace, I think, to get a clean sheet versus West Ham. I really would. So I'm happy with that. I've got Luton for him, West Ham, Salah's got Fulham, Diaby Watkins got Bournemouth, Haaland's got Spurs, and Saka's got Wolves. So it's just nice fixtures for me. Obviously, I could maybe not do a Chelsea defender and bring in an Arsenal defender because it's the same kind of thing, but the Arsenal run is nowhere near as good as the Chelsea run. That Chelsea run of fixtures is ridiculous. Yeah, enjoy, Fabio. Have a good day, pal. But yeah, no, if no one's got any more questions, then I think we're going to leave it there, lads. This is the team we're locked in on. Without the injury news, like I said, Bowen doesn't start for me. Bowen's not even going to be on the bench for me. Matoma's out. Haaland starts. Cash starts for me. Odegaard is back. Concussion's gone. Nothing wrong. For me, he plays for Arsenal. I'm 75% sure he plays for Arsenal this week. I believe Nketiah plays over Trossard this week. And Jesus is not back for me this week. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We're locked in. The only thing that could change is my captaincy, and other than that, we're locked in. If I can get on in the morning, I will get on, but it's pretty much a doubt. So this is going to be locked in. I'll be in the Discord as well if you lads want to get in the Discord. I will post a Discord link in before we go out right now. So anyone who's not in the Discord can get in the Discord. As I do post on deadline all my updated team. You got any questions? I'm in the Discord to answer any questions that anyone needs answering. And I'm in that Discord pretty much every day, posting any injury news, any leaks I get, any news I personally get myself. But yeah, and other than that, I hope everyone has an amazing day. And I will see you all tomorrow for the games. So yeah, have a good one. And it's been FPL